Hello, everybody. Now, before anyone panics, this is not the live class that's happening tomorrow. Do not worry. This is just a quick reminder, but also I thought I'd do something really fun. I just literally had this idea and I was like, let's do it. I thought what I could do is show you some artwork. I'm literally surrounded by my artwork all over the floor. I could show you kind of like before and after my artwork. So I've not always been an artist. I would definitely describe myself as an amateur when I first began. And I thought it would be fun to kind of show you the difference, the major difference in my artwork and exactly what made that difference, how I really improved. So hopefully you'll enjoy watching that. And also I do just want to make sure as well that you are registered for tomorrow's workshop, because tomorrow I'm going to be talking all about the process and letting you in on the process that I implemented to see these big changes. So what I'll do, I'll just pop a link in the comment section that you can go check out and make sure that you are registered for that. Also, just a little quick check. Can everybody see me and hear me okay before I get started? That'd be awesome. If you just let me know, that'd be great. So yeah, I kind of just wanted to show you the difference in my artwork, because sometimes I can think that people might see my YouTube channel and think, oh, well, she's always been an artist, or, you know, she's just always been painting and always been painting like, you know, all these huge giant canvases. And that is totally not the case. And I'm going to prove it because a lot of my artwork, I mean, to be honest, I can't even show you a lot of my artwork from the beginning because most of it is in landfill right now. Most of it was thrown away. But this is one of the first kind of deer that I painted. And I don't want to ever brand any of my artwork as bad. I think that we all should honor every moment in our art journey. But this is the difference when I implemented this process that I'm going to be sharing tomorrow. Now, I don't ever want to label any of my artwork as bad, but you can see the clear difference, absolutely, in both of these pictures, right? And this is the process that I'm going to be sharing tomorrow in the workshop. Hi, Patricia. Hi, Pam. Thanks for letting me know in the comments you can hear me. That's fine. That's great. And so, yeah, that's just one example of a deer, because I think it's easy to compare things that are the same subject as well. Again, this is another version of a deer with this process. I'll do a little close-up as well so that you can see the difference. And most of all, the difference was in my confidence as well. It's not just about the painting itself, but it's how you feel when you're actually painting. You can really sense the difference when you're painting with confidence, because you kind of not second guessing every brush stroke. You're just having fun and really like tuning into your intuition. Let's do a little flower example. This was a sunflower I did a long time ago. And again, it's not that I hate the sunflower. It's not a bad sunflower. But when I implemented this process that I'm going to be sharing tomorrow, this is the difference. You can see there's a lot more depth. I've been using the complementary colors. And really the shapes are a lot more accurate. So again, that is just an example of that. As you know, I love impressionistic artwork. My goal is always to get that kind of impressionistic feeling. But when I didn't have the foundational skills in, this was what my impressionistic paintings looked like. And now again, I kind of like the vibe. I can see where I was kind of going with it, but I didn't quite have the skills to make it look realistic still. Here's another example of kind of like more of an impressionistic feel. And this one, which is a bit wild. I mean, I kind of love the idea behind it and where I was trying to go with it. But when I implemented these skills that I'm going to be sharing tomorrow in the process, this is the floral artworks that I could then create, which I'm sure you can see that is such a large, oh, is that upside down? Upside down. Such a large difference. And because although there's still that impressionistic kind of feeling, it's much more carefully done. I'll just hold these up side by side so you can see the difference. So again, it's kind of blending the two parts, because I am all for like passionate expression in painting, but there also needs to be this other part where you have the skills to support your vision. And it's when you marry those two together is when you have the incredible artwork and you really feel free to paint what you feel passionate about. Let's have another. Is anyone enjoying having a little nosy through these paintings? I think one of my favorite things to do is when artists like show their sketchbook, so you can just kind of like have a little look through. Hi Carmen. Hi Alexandra. Hi, Lily. Great to see you guys in the comments. And just as a reminder, if anyone's just joined, don't worry, this is not the live workshop that's happening tomorrow. This is just like a little idea I had to show you guys the difference from my before and after, to kind of show you that the way this process really improves your artwork. Oh, great. Thank you. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Now, this one might might make you laugh. Pandas are my absolute favorite animals. But I'm not sure I'm loving this painting, you know, as much as I love pandas. But when I really started to understand how to see shapes properly, then I could get the shape of the body down a lot better and even start to add in some shading and the values. So you can see that one is very cartoon and the other is a lot more realistic and lifelike. Again, that just got, I mean, obviously there's no color, this is just drawing, but it still comes down to one of those foundational skills that you still even need in painting. We can have a look at some of my old drawings of people. And this was an idea, I mean, it looks a little bit crazy, doesn't it? But there was this idea that I had of like a lady with like watercolor coming down, but it just looked a bit scary. I wanted it to be like very ethereal and romantic, and it just looked a little bit like something from a horror film. Again, that was because I didn't yet have those skills to really nail down my vision. But as I started to play around with this process of seeing shapes, I could much more accurately represent a person's face, and I got my drawing skills. I just kept on practicing the drawing skill and also value, which is what is in most of these, and just kept on playing. Then I played around in paint. Again, you can kind of see the idea. It's not quite there, but the more I practice these foundational elements, which is the process I'm going to be going into more tomorrow, things started to happen. And then I actually ended up painting portraits that still felt playful, still felt impressionistic. Like you can see different colors. I've got orange and green and purple in there. So it still had that that impressionistic, playful quality, but it just looked a lot more realistic. And I was going to say not something from a horror movie, but I think this Johnny Depp was from Secret Window. So, but it just becomes a lot more fun when you can create a portrait that, obviously these even, they're not perfect, but it's like, I remember just feeling like really in disbelief that I could create something that really looked like the person. And that's such a wonderful feeling, even down to little portraits of animals. This was a fox that I did a while ago, and I really was not happy with it at all. But then once I implemented this process, I learned a lot more understanding around how to place the colors, the shading and the shapes as well. So I kind of just wanted to give you a little bit of a lowdown of how this process really worked for me. I've just got another little animal painting there that was before this process, and then some animal drawings using this process, which, as you can see, are a lot more realistic. So yeah, this is the process that I will be going more in depth tomorrow. Oh, there was another thing that I was going to show you, was this painting of roses. This was one I did, honestly, I can't remember. Oh, it's on the back. 2013. There we go. This was done in 2013. So a long time ago, over 10 years ago. Wow. And this is what I would say was when I was really starting to take my art seriously. And I was like, I can do this. I can do this. Now, this is meant to be water, roses floating through water. And I loved like the water bits, but the roses they just felt a bit lackluster. Now I understand why, is because they only have one color. Like all these roses are just one color. It's more like a value study, to be honest. Again, I still really like the idea, but now when I create roses and rose paintings, I can be more aware that roses have all different colors in them and have like more of the what do you call it, like desaturated colors, like the cool shadows, and also like the pinks and the oranges, and kind of putting in a lot more colors into my rose paintings now. So again, you can really see the difference between these two when I implemented this process. And as I said, we'll talk more about what that process is tomorrow, but do make sure that you are registered for tomorrow's class, because like this is just going out on my YouTube. Tomorrow's class is going to be just a private link just for those registered, just to make sure it's really safe and I can support you in the best way possible. That way it just makes sure that only the people there are the people that really want to be there, and we don't get any people messing around in the chats, in which we don't have any of that today anyway. But I'll just pop the link in the in the comment section again if you'd like to join. Yeah, I think that was pretty much all the paintings that I had out. Whilst I'm here, what I could do, I found this painting up in the loft. This one has a bit of a special moment in my heart. See, this one was from July 2013. Sorry, I don't know how to read numbers anymore. And the reason why this painting is special to me is because it was the first time I painted a portrait that kind of looked like a real human, which sounds crazy, but I think because it had this different angle of her looking down, it was like, it really looked more realistic than all my other portraits I've done. And I can't even show them to you because I think they're all in the bin. I couldn't find any others. I think I only kept the ones that I was like happy with, which is such a shame, really. So if you are making paintings that you don't love, please do keep them, because it is really nice to look back on when you have made that progress. But I guess I didn't believe that I could make that progress, so I binned them. But this was the one that I made that I was like, oh, I think this really does look like a person. But the only problem was with it is I couldn't then do anything to it because I was so scared of ruining it. And that is such a disempowering place, is when you're not fully finished with the idea, but you don't want to add anything because you're so scared to ruin it. And really, that is exactly what this process completely alleviates, because it leaves you in control of the painting. So I'm really, really excited to show you this tomorrow. It's going to be such a fun place to hang out as well, because everyone is in the comment section. We've got a fun quiz to help you find your style. There's going to be an exercise. There's going to be a workbook you can print off and download and make notes in. It's really interactive and really fun. I've been working hard on it, and so I think you're going to really like it. And so yeah, it's tomorrow. And Laurie says what time tomorrow? It's going to be 5 p.m. UK time. And when you register, I will send you an email. And I think I put on like a link for a world clock, so you can go on and just double check what time that is for you. But there will also be a replay shared as well. So yeah, thanks so much for joining me. I hope that was fun, just having a little look through my artwork. It's always like my most fun thing to do is look through sketchbooks and stuff, the unfinished paintings. Get like a little glimpse into the artist's mind. But yeah, I would love for you to join. If you've not already registered, please do register. It'd be wonderful to have you there. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Oh, Laurie, sorry, I just said can't use the link. Okay, if you head to my most recent YouTube video, it should be there. It'll be in that video as well, because that's an invitation to the class too. So yeah, check out my most recent video on YouTube if that link is not working for you. All right, thanks guys. See ya. Bye.